Imbento lang.
Welcome to Imbento Lang, the show where we delve into the minds of Filipino inventors and innovators who have left an indelible mark on science and technology. I'm your host, Steve, and today we have the privilege of talking to none other than engineer Mark Kennedy Bantugon. Mark Bantugon, who hails from Batangas, Philippines, is a visionary, innovator, and the inventor of Pili Seal, a sustainable aviation sealant extracted from pili tree resin waste. This technology was recognized by the World Intellectual Property Organization, WIPO, and he is the first Filipino to receive the WIPO National Award for Inventors. As a licensed aeronautical engineer, Bantugon aims to revolutionize the aviation sector by transforming waste materials into valuable products. His invention has been recognized by various prestigious institutions worldwide, including the James Dyson Award, Airbus, Stanford University, Asia CEO Awards, and the National Geographic Society, to name a few. His Pili Seal patent is the fastest granted invention patent in Philippine history. Join us as we uncover the stories of Filipino inventors. This is Imbento Lang. Stay tuned for our conversation with Engineer Mark. So, hi Mark, welcome to the show. Thank you for being with us despite your busy schedule. I'd like to start off with my first question. Could you tell me more about yourself and the story behind the Pili Seal?
Hello everyone, mabuhay. I am Engineer Mark Kennedy Bantugon, a young Filipino inventor, licensed aeronautical engineer, a material scientist and researcher, but notably I am a son of a local farmer and also a public school teacher. And I think this upbringing in life inspired me to invent my game-changing invention, which I called the Pili Seal. So yung Pili Seal po, it's a revolutionary activity in the aviation industry that uses the waste material to formulate a sustainable aviation sealant and adhesive in the global aviation sector. So one of the unique feature of this product is that it offers safe and non-toxic effects to our users' health, specifically to our aircraft mechanics and technician, and also to our environment as well. So I think one of the greatest influence or motivation of my invention is the job of my father being a local farmer. So dahil po sa ganung trabaho ng aking ama, na-expose po ako sa iba't ibang, sa farm, especially po sa iba't ibang halaman, puno, waste material, and also sa iba't ibang hayop po. So on that aspect, dun ko po na-meet yung pili tree, na which is very popular in our country. So on that aspect, I have discovered na ito pala pong pili tree ay nag-generate ng 77 million kilogram of waste resin. And through my ingenuity, it really helped me to transform and also revolutionize the industry by converting the potential of this waste material into new ways as a Pili Seal invention.
Could you tell me more, Mark, about pili, the pili tree and its byproducts? What is it used for currently in our country and industry?
Yung pili po is very popular in our country because of its various usage and also benefits. Like for example, in the food industry because of its healthy and delicious pili nuts. And also in the perfume industry because yung essential oils po niya ay ginagamit na perfume component in the popular perfume brands like Gucci and Chanel, to name a few. So in the perfume industry po, yung pong raw na pili tree na dagta po ay, ang ginagawa po sa kanya ay sineseparate po siya through hydrodistillation process para makuha lang po yung essential oils po. And after this process, yung pong 90% po ng waste resin po ay kinoconsider na po as discarded material. But like for example, in the Philippines lang po, 77 million kilograms po ng waste resin ang na-generate po natin annually. So, as I try to study and assess this waste material, I found out that it can still provide a sticky and elastic properties with a fragrant odor po. So, with that, it helped me to show na pwede pala po siyang magamit as a particular ingredient sa paggawa po ng sustainable adhesive and sealant formulation. And with that, napakita din po natin na ang pili tree po ay hindi lang beneficial sa food and perfume sector but also in the field of adhesive and sealant industry po.
That's wonderful. Is pili tree only found in this area of the world or sa mga tropical countries, or can it grow in other climates as well?
With regards po sa nature po ng pili tree po. So, ang pili tree po ay can grow and adapt po sa tropical countries po like Philippines po. And sa ating bansa po, very abundant po siya sa Bicol region and also Quezon province po. So, as far as I know po, ang sa buong mundo po, meron po tayong 101 tropical countries po. So, in terms of the supply, especially po sa dami po ng pili, continuous po ang supply natin. Especially po sa Pilipinas po, meron po tayong approximately 240,000 pili trees po right now.
Wow. Pilipinas. I like that wordplay, ah.
Yes, wow.
Are we the most country na nagpo-produce ng ganitong products?
Actually po, with regards to the pili tree, especially po yung dagta niyan, essential oils po, yung pinipili po ng ibang countries po yung Philippine pili tree po kasi po meron pong kakaiba sa qualities po ng pili tree, especially po yung resin, yung dagta niya po, and also essential oils. In comparison po, based sa research po, yung pong resin, dagta po ng pili and also essential oils po ay mas mabango po at mas maganda yung quality compare po sa pili tree po sa ibang bansa. Kaya po, as of the moment po, yung pong mga foreign countries po, mas tinatangkilik po nila yung essential oils po na galing sa pili tree kasi mas fragrant po siya compare po sa mga essential oils po na meron po sa ibang bansa po.
Ang galing. Nakaka-proud naman yon, Mark. Let's go back a little. Yung pag-iisip mo ng pagdating mo sa pili tree, so sa pili resin waste as yung pinaka-focus ng iyong product or yung invention, meron ka bang mga ibang trinay na i-eksperimentohan bago ang pili itself?
Actually po, yung pili sealant po is my second invention. My first invention po is also a sealant po na sa bubong naman po. So, yung unang invention, tinawag ko po siya na antipolo sealant po. And yun po ay sealant din po na sa bubong, nagawa po sa iba pong dagta ng puno po. So, kaya po ako nag-focus sa paggawa po ng sealant kasi naalala ko po nung bata po kami, di ba po ang Pilipinas po ay paboritong daanan po ng bagyo. So, during those times po, yung bubong po namin ay para pong leaky faucet pag tuwing typhoons po. So, ang ginagawa po namin, yung parents po namin, lagi po kaming fino-force na kumain po ng bubble gums. Kasi po, ang ginagawa po nila is pinampapatsa po sa mga butas po. So, on that aspect po, naturuan na po kami during those childhood memories po na maging creative po. And on that aspect po, yun pong isang pain points na yun, personal pain points po namin during those typhoons, yun po yung nagdala sa akin para po mas maging eager po sa paggawa po ng sealant. But going back po dun sa question, aside from pili tree po, marami rin po akong sinubukan po ng mga puno. But bakit po nag-stand out yung pili? Because yung pong isa sa mga properties niya po, yung dagta po niya is very sticky po. And yun po yung isa sa mga importanteng consideration po sa paggawa po ng isang sealant and adhesive po.
Important na mag-stick yung ilalagay mo. Especially, you're talking about aviation, airplanes.
Yes po.
Talagang it impacts the lives of the passengers and the driver, the pilot itself, no? So, okay. Sige, dumating ka ngayon sa idea mo on experimenting or developing your product based on the pili tree resin waste. What were the steps na you took to kind of like come up with your prototype, your final or your initial prototype, if I may say?
Sa paggawa ko po ng isang innovation po, lagi ko pong kino-consider yung 4 steps ko po. So, number 1 po is, ang ginagawa ko po, I always find good problem because for me, good problem is a good opportunity for us to provide a tangible, fit solution. So, lagi din po ako naniniwala na it's very important to fall in love with the problem, not the solution. Because at the end of the day, the main purpose why our technology is exists is because of this core purpose, and that is to really solve a specific pain point in a certain community or a certain society. So I also remind myself as well na when we fall in love with the problem, it's very important to assess, acknowledge, and accept the problem. And the second one po, after looking for a good problem, it's very important to make an hypothesis. I know hypothesis is a very generic term na laging ginagamit from elementary until now. But ito rin po yung common misconception when we are trying to formulate an hypothesis. Kasi, di ba po, ang common definition of hypothesis is educational guess.
Yes. Yeah.
But for me, it's not just only an educational guess, but it's an assumption based on reliable resources. Like for example, journals, researches, which is yung mga published researches. Kasi it's very hard for you to come up with an assumption na wala pong basis eh. Kasi commonly po sa atin, when we are trying to create an assumption, we just trying to create something na wala pong basis. So, yun din po yung, I think, in a research basis, lagi tayong tumitingin sa mga literatures and studies because yun po yung nag-guide sa atin if our study is, or our innovation is, very suitable and also feasible when we try to create it. And then, the third step po na ginagawa ko after considering looking for a good problem and also making a hypothesis is try to test it. Validate your product as you try to experiment, try to subject it to the different standard testing, even it's manually, or try to go to the different standard testing, like for example, DOST, DOE. So, yun po yung third step ko. And last step is, after you try those 3 steps, so then ka na po magde-decide if you will try to persevere or pivot it. So when we say about persevere po, so for example po, yung product mo is hindi nag-work kasi basically hindi mo finalo yung first 3 steps. So possible po na pwede mo pa siyang i-change. So meron din po tayong 2 consideration when we try to change it. So when we try to change it, pwede pong minor change or major change. So yung minor change, if you want to tweak it, like for example the formulation, and then like for example after several times na hindi pa rin siya nag-i-improve or wala pa rin certain changes, that's the time na you can try to consider major changes. So major changes, ibig sabihin, your study or your invention is not really working. So you need to change it. Hindi na talaga siya feasible. And then if ever naman po na after considering the first 3 steps and it really works, so that's the time po na you need to pivot it. So meaning you need to do, like for example, yung protection, intellectual property rights in order for you to have an exclusive right as an inventor and also to commercialize it, because at the end of the day, yung kung bakit nag-exist yung mga inventions natin is to really solve the pain point, and kailangan din magamit siya ng mga target users and customers natin kasi parang yung paggawa naman po ng invention is it's not about impressing the people but expressing your solution through compassion and also having the empathy for those target users and customers na nakaka-experience ng pain points in a certain community or society. So, yun po siguro yung steps ko on how I try to create a sustainable innovation. And aside from that, I have also 5 consideration as well before I try to go to these 4 steps. So number 1 po is I always considered number 1 resources, kasi it's very hard to formulate something if your resources is not attainable and accessible as well. And the second one, it's very important to have to consider time, kasi if you have for example, kung wala ka pong time frame, it's very hard for you to monitor if nasa na ba yung ginagawa mo. Hindi mo makita kung ano yung progress mo. Kasi yun din po yung common na nangyayari sa mga students natin. I can relate to that kasi during those times na ginagawa ko rin yung PhilSil ko, may mga times na parang tinatamad akong gumawa ng timetable kasi nga parang nasa mindset ko, okay na yan. Pero yung mga small details na yun, yun yung isa sa mga pinaka-importante na lagi natin tinitingnan kasi doon natin nakikita if meron pa bang progress or meron bang significant changes when we try to go deeper on our study. And the third one is, it's very important to consider manpower kasi at the end of the day, it's really a collaboration. Hindi lang to a man-one power na ikaw lang yung gagawa. You need to tap different organization. For example, public and private sector, academia, for you to be able to bring your innovation to industrialization. And also, you need to also, I think, consider financial aspect. On my case, naalala ko po yung parents ko, nag-loan pa po sila to really finish the testing kasi sobrang dami po ng testing na kinonduct. I think 20 testings po. So, yun yung isa sa mga, I think, sa mga challenges na pinagdaanan ng PhilSil. And lastly po is impact and significance. You need to go back kung bakit mo ginagawa yung isang invention. For me, I really want to push it because I want to give back to my local farming community. Kasi yung papa ko po doon nagmula, and I think with this PhilSil invention, it will really help not only the Philippine aviation sector, but most importantly, our local farming community.
Thank you, Mark, for guiding us through your creative problem-solving process. There's a lot to unpack. Allow me to go back to the steps. You've mentioned, let me just summarize if I got it correctly. Number 1, fall in love with the problem. Number 2 is to set up your hypothesis, build your hypothesis. Number 3 is you're going to test your innovation or your possible solution. And number 4, decide if you're going to pivot or pursue, right? And going back to the hypothesis question, I get that we should identify and kind of be parang fall in love again with the problem and then go with our educated guess. But is it really hard for us to, is it really difficult to kind of like uh, and look for journals or other resources para lang ma-prove na this is something feasible? Is it really a necessary step?
In my case po, to be honest po, sa personal experience ko, naging challenge po sa akin yung step 2, yung making a hypothesis. Kasi yung study ko po is a pioneering study. So, in terms of literatures and studies, wala po masyadong studies about formulating a sustainable silat na gawa po sa waste. So, on my end, may other backup plans is to really try trial and error. So, on my case po, I think naka 84 formulation po ako before I really find the best solution or best formulation of Pilicil. So, medyo time consuming po siya kasi yun nga po, yun yung parang last resort ko. But I think worth it din po siya kasi na-test din po yung patience ko and also my passion during those long period of time of formulating and trying to find the best formulation of the Pilicil.
Actually, that answers my second follow-up question about testing na it doesn't have to be perfect at the start. Tama ba?
Yes,
is it something that you experienced with 84 different formulations? I'm sure that you kind of like had frustrations by the time na, I don't know, 20th, 40th formulation na hindi mo makuha yung gusto mo makita.
Sa case ko po, meron din pong sa case ko na during those trial and error formulations po, na-compromise po yung health ko kasi yung eagerness ko po na matapos siya and mahanap yung best formulation. So, nagkaroon po ako ng time na 36 hours po akong hindi natutulog during to really formulate. So, nag-collapse po ako during those times. And I think that's one of the lesson I've learned na at the end of the day, parang you need to also consider your health when you are trying to do something. So, ayun din po, parang isa sa mga, I think, remarkable memories ko during those journey na compromise po yung health.
My goodness. Blood, sweat, and tears talagang may Google mo to develop this innovation. Ano? And finally, dun sa last step, yung pivot or pursue. Or pilot or pivot, is it another term for it? In your case, you decided to pilot it or pursue it. Ano?
Yes.
And you mentioned about protecting your intellectual property. And I recently mentioned about you having the fastest granted patent in the history of the Philippines. What was that all about? Could you tell me, how did you do it?
I think po, yung pong historic milestone po na yung being the fastest granted patent in the country po, it's a collaboration between the inventor, me po, and also the different offices. Like for example, Ateneo Intellectual Property Office po, with especially po yung patent group po ng Ateneo IPO, and also Intellectual Property Office of the Philippines po. And aside from the multi-sectoral collaboration, I think po yung nakatulong din po dun is really the quality of the patent document po. Kasi in terms of patent, we considered 3 things. So yung novelty niya po, inventive step, and also industrial application niya po. So I think with that criteria po, especially po sa patent writer po na nagsulat po ng patent document ko with the help of Ateneo IPO po. So yun po yung naging reason kung bakit po siya naging mabilis po sa landscape po ng Philippine intellectual property sectors po. And during those times po, during the process po, I want to share it na yung pong sa first examination pa lang po, dun po na-identify na yung document po is wala pong major changes or major revision. So, yun din po yung naka-help din po para maging fastest granted patent invention po siya sa Philippines din po.
And correct me if I'm wrong, you were also a recipient of the YIPI or the Young
Youth Intellectual Property
What's that again?
Program. So yung pong program, ito po ay bagong program po ng Intellectual Property Office of the Philippines po para po sa mga youths and students po na merong creative ideas po. So tinawag po nila itong Youth Intellectual Property Incentive Program. So dito po sa program na ito po, I'm one of the pioneering beneficiary of the program po. And yung program po na ito ay hindi lang po tinutulungan ng ating mga students na magkaroon po ng protection for their intellectual property and also sa innovation po nila, but also tinutulungan din po nila ito in terms of financials kasi ang pagpaprotekta po ng ating invention is somehow expensive po. So, in my case po, in my personal case, naka-less po ako ng 50% because of the program. And aside from that po, marami rin po silang mga trainings, yung capacity building po na nakakatulong po sa ating mga inventors para malaman pa po natin yung protection po natin sa ating po mga inventions po.
That's wonderful. And I think that's a good opportunity for young Filipino inventors na for them to be able to register and protect their IPs, their ideas, ano? So Mark, you mentioned earlier about pain points and you were trying to address them. Could you tell me more what specific pain points were these?
So, yung pong pain points po na ina-address and sinsolve po ng PhilSeal po is pain points po ng global adhesive and sealant industry. So, number one po, sa aviation industry po kasi, nagkaroon po ako ng internship po sa isang aviation maintenance repair and overhaul services. And because of that life experience po, dun ko po nakita yung totoong proseso po ng isang aviation industry, specifically po yung pain points po ng adhesive and sealant po sa aviation. So, natry ko po mag-apply ng sealant and one of the noticeable na characteristic po ng commercially available aviation sealant and adhesive is its unpleasant and toxic odors po. So, I try to consult and have an open dialogue with the aviation personnel. And ito pala po yung isa sa mga concerns po ng ating mga mechanics and technicians. So, I also try to research the information about this commercially available aviation sealant and adhesive. And I found out po dun sa material safety data sheets nila na ito pala pong mga commercially sealant and aviation adhesive po natin ay meron pong different nature and degree of hazard which is very dangerous not only to the mechanics and technician but also to the environment. So aside from that po, napansin ko rin po na yung material properties is one of the issues din po ng sealant and adhesive po sa aviation. And also its expensive price po. So with that po, I try to convert these two pain points po sa aviation and also pain points po sa agricultural, yung 77 million kilogram na waste resin, and try to combine it to really solve through my PhilSeal invention. So with that po, it really helps to connect the aviation industry and also the agricultural sector. And to give you some trivia din po, yung Philippines po kasi, sa Philippine aviation sector, wala po tayong local manufacturing company of aviation sealant and adhesive. So, I also want to use this invention as a gateway para magkaroon naman po tayo ng sariling atin na hindi na po tayo nag-i-import sa iba't ibang bansa po.
Tell me more about your feeling on reaching these different milestones with you, sunod-sunod ka, na nakakatanggap ng different awards. You blew up on the media, on, recognized by different institutions. How was the feeling na sunod-sunod and you're flying in and out of the country? What's that like?
Siguro po sa case ko po, number one po, to be honest po, when I'm formulating the PhilSeal po, my personal goal lang po is to become best thesis po sa university namin. But hindi po siya nangyari kasi during those times po, pandemic po siya. And I think this recognition and also this blessing po is a redirection of God na despite your personal goals po, talagang meron pong ibang plano po si Lord on your journey. So, I think it's really, nung una po kasi iniisip ko na since hindi po na-achieve yung Best Thesis Award, parang feeling ko it's a denial for me. But as I try to analyze it, especially right now, for me, it's really a redirection to a greater purpose and also a greater heights for the PhilSeal as well.
That's amazing. And thank you for sharing that to us. For our listeners who might be at the brink of their creative breakthrough, do you have any advice for them?
Siguro po, this is some of the message that I want to impart to the listeners right now po na number one po, it's very important to step out on your comfort zone because it will really help you to go, grow, and grow as an individual. Second one po is success is best experience when shared. Parang allow our initiative, our invention to be an instrument of blessing, not only to yourself, but also to other people, to our community, to our nation, and also to our environment. And lastly, always allow yourself to dream because it is valid. And on your journey, you are never denied, but only redirected.
Well said. Thank you for that. And looking back in your journey as an inventor, as an accomplished inventor, was there anything that you would have changed? Kumbaga, any step na sana hindi ko na lang ginawa ito?
Siguro po for me, wala po. Wala po akong babaguhin. Though sabihin po natin na it's a long and challenging process. But I think there's a lot of things na natutunan ko po during those time na until now po, nagagamit ko po and also nai-impart ko rin po sa ibang tao po.
Thank you for that. And what's next for PhilSeal or for Mark Bantugan?
So, For the PhilHeal po, right now po, we just recently registered as a legal business entity po. We named the company Pili Adhesive Incorporated po. So, we will also pilot the product in the aerospace industry po this August in Singapore po. And right now, we are also waiting for the certification and approval of the product in the Airbus and Boeing for us to be able to offer the product in the aviation industry. So, there's a lot of things na kailangan pong gawin. But at the end, it's really, I think this initiative is really a humble effort to give back to my local farming community.
I'm sure. It's really exciting times, a lot of moving parts for you. Do you have teammates na already?
Yes po. Actually, we are four in the team po. And one of my teammates po is my sister, because my sister is a chemical engineer and yung expertise niya po is very aligned po to the formulation of PhilHeal po.
You are in good hands, I think. And before we end, are there any final words that you would like to impart to our listeners?
I think this is one of the things na nakita ko po sa journey ko na I must say pwede rin pong magamit or ma-apply po ng mga listeners natin na it's very important to do not simply live and experience life. Embrace and use it as a catalyst of change. Kasi I think po, my life story is one of the testament on that na yung pong pagiging anak na isang magsasaka and my experience po dun sa typhoon na tumutulo, ginamit ko po siya to create an invention na maaari pong mag-revolutionize ng global industries and also my community as well.
That was Mark Kennedy Bantugon. Thank you very much for your time. Have a great day.
Thank you po.